From potential development off of Bees Ferry Road in West Ashley to the Low Battery in downtown Charleston to attainable housing, I sit down one-on-one with City of Charleston Councilman Peter Shahid for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. Well, Councilman Shahid.
Yes, sir.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you. Always good to talk to you.
Likewise. We saw each other yesterday, you and Councilman Jackson.
Yes, sir.
And I looked like I was going on vacation with you.
You looking ready to go to Bermuda or something.
Right. You know why I got locked out of City Hall trying to come into the city council meeting?
Oh, okay.
Tell me, what did I miss?
Actually, some very good discussions. We received a report, an update from Mayor Joe Wiley about the International African American Museum. They are very close to finishing up their fundraising with that. I'm very excited about that on the groundbreaking. They're on target. They're on deadline. Good stuff going on with that.
You talk about deadlines. Let me take you to Low Battery.
Okay.
Where are we with this discussion and its future?
Well, I presume you're talking about the Low Battery and the construction. Are we working on that? Well, there's an issue of a price tag with that, so we have to get marshal in the funds for that, make sure we have the money available for that. So there hasn't been a whole lot of public discussion with that, but there's a lot of conversation going on and planning with that. So I think that we should be seeing some more information, some more public discussion along that lines in the coming months, coming weeks.
And you talk about discussion. Let me take you to West Ashley.
Okay.
Obviously, council said no to development really off of Bees Ferry Road in West Ashley, 12-1. And I know Councilman Griffin has some issues. He basically told Channel 2 this, quote, "Number one, the traffic it will create with no assistance for further infrastructure. Number two, the increase in density is going to create. And finally, this is a bad plan for West Ashley." Tell me, what are your reasons?
Well, first of all, and I said it last night, I'll say it again, and I'll say it probably 100 more times. I think that every unincorporated section of West Ashley needs to be incorporated into the City of Charleston. That's just good government. It's good business for the citizens of the area to service them. You got one government to provide services for planning, for infrastructure, for drainage, for traffic, for public safety. That's the way that government should be run. And so we need to have all of West Ashley, that's my personal feeling, to be incorporated into the City of Charleston. So my inclination is always to annex. Unfortunately, when we annex unincorporated areas into the City of Charleston, you have to provide zoning. One of the things that we have discussed on the Plan West Ashley, and the Revitalization Commission has talked about this, is how one way to cut down on travel time is to have things available for residents of Charleston in the West Ashley area. Jobs, shopping, restaurants, recreation, entertainment, things of that nature. So the thought is this development in line with those plans of West Ashley, or is it out of whack a little bit because you're adding more residential and you're just adding more commuters into the City of Charleston? So that's the problem. There are other ways around, I think, that this developer can still annex into the city. We want them to annex into the city.
Okay.
And maybe there's another way that they can come in on a different type of zoning to address the multi-use of that property. And I hope they will reconsider and come back into the city, apply to come back into the city.
And let me take you to some developing news, and this is from the Charleston City paper.
Yes. 5
city council members set to attend activist gathering calling for affordable housing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this is referring to the Charleston Area Justice Ministries Nehemiah Action.
Right.
I know that Waring, Lewis, Gregory, Jackson, and Kevin Shilley have all accepted invitations.
Mm-hmm.
Will you?
No, I will not. I feel I've got a good rapport with the representatives of the Charleston Area Justice Ministry. I'm glad to sit down with them. I have sat down with them face to face on several meetings. I'll do it again. They want to talk to me. I'm glad to talk to them face to face with their representatives about any issue they have in mind.
Let me talk to you about affordable housing. What will that look like in your district of West Ashley?
Well, I had a meeting with members of the West Ashley Chamber of Commerce section, and they want us to start calling it attainable housing, which is fine with me. We can call it attainable housing, housing that people can financially afford to live in. And we need to have a heavy focus on that. Now, Yesterday we talked about at City Council some projects coming into the Maryville-Asheville area.
Right.
We're very excited about that. Workforce housing into the West Ashley area. The West Ashley Revitalization Commission is meeting in May on implementation plans. We could talk about sustainability and economic development, outlining our implementation plans for those issues. And our next section in June or July, we'll talk about what we can do to implement attainable housing, affordable housing, West Ashley. So trust me, and I want your listeners to appreciate my concern with this. Attainable, affordable housing is a priority. I see the problems with this. I've talked to several people who work in different sectors of Charleston County and the workforce. They can't afford to live where they want to work. That's a huge problem, and we've got to address that head on.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Councilman Peter Shahid, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to raid your fruit snacks back.
Go right ahead. Anytime. You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity to talk.
Anytime.
All right.